Introduce yourselves because it would be helpful for the minutes.
Yes.
Right.
Would you pass that on?
Okay, the floor is yours. Whoever wishes to speak first, would you introduce yourself and make your case, please?
Okay. Thank you, first of all, for allowing us to come and speak, and thank you, Councillor Wilmot, for supporting our cause. We're here to request the committee to, again, reject the proposal and the decision to close Rushey Mead Library and transfer the assets and services into the recreation centre. As you can see, we feel very strongly about this, and a few of the arguments for that have been already, stated to you. One of the things that we feel very aggrieved about as well is the fact that, with regards to the consultation, some engagement was carried out, but we don't feel that the consultation process has been robust enough for the service users and the community, especially because it's going to affect their existing services that they're already using. And we feel that that's just something, we haven't been consulted on the type of impact that's going to have on their services. We definitely think that any alleged positive benefits that are being made out are going to be far outweighed by all the negative circumstances that are going to arise from this decision. One of the things is that the majority of users at the recreation centre, not exclusively, but many, are elderly, vulnerable and disabled people. The value of social and recreational social inclusion services cannot be undermined, and we think that this decision does do that. We don't actually know much about the details of the proposal because, as I said, no impact exercise has been carried out. But one of the things that we learnt from this afternoon's meeting with Councillor Masters is that the plan is to fit in the library services around the recreation centre timetable or the current timetable. Again, I think that we think that really undermines the social, recreational, and the social inclusion side of things too, because that leaves no opportunity for us to expand that.
Try to conclude now.
We think that we've not been consulted adequately at all.
Okay. Can I ask your colleague just to give you the same amount of time, please? If you introduce yourself first.
Thank you, Councillor. My name is Dixit, Chauhan, and I'm actually a recent returnee back to Leicester, having spent a lot of time working in the public sector in London and then more recently overseas. I've recently stepped back into this, largely because my mother is a user of the recreation centre. I also have nephews and other family members that use the library very extensively, as it happens. And as my mother is currently in India, possibly with Rita Patel somewhere, I have kind of stepped in to represent her and a number of her users. So just to, without reiterating what's already been said, just want to go through a couple of points here. As we've said, principally, we believe that the consultation process has not been adequate, simply because of the fact that the majority of the residents of Rushey Mead don't feel that they understood what was going on, why it was going on, or what the proposals are. More importantly, why the current decision, how it's been possibly justified as reasonable as a process to go forward with. We've just been presented with essentially a fait accompli. And I think a lot of residents are very angry about that. Partly, we look at the library on the basis of the fact that if you don't do an impact exercise, how do you know what the result is going to be? By removing the library, selling it off or disposing it, as has been currently suggested, in order to save, 14, 15, 17,000, possibly £5,000, to us at this point in time seems ludicrous. The library and the recreation centres are used by the most vulnerable people in our area. We're talking about people who are elderly, we're talking about people with disabilities, we are talking about children. These are the principal population men that cannot defend themselves. Right? Personally, if I want a book, I'll go to somewhere and I'll buy it. I have no problems with that. But I also recognise the fact that there's a lot of people that can't do that. And that is why they use it, and that is why there's 51,000 users in that footfall. You're proposing a cut of, in my opinion, something that's quite minuscule. when you're talking about a population of 6,000 households who all pay council tax. If I sort of extrapolate that, we're talking about less than £3 per household. If I take it on the basis of the population head, we're talking about £1 per person. That's what we're talking about. And yet, we're talking, and we're not even talking, I'm not even bringing Troon into this, because Troon, as a neighbouring ward, has no council buildings.
Would you try to conclude now, please?
Sorry?
Would you try to conclude now?
I certainly will. I want to come back to this. Given the fact that there is quite clearly Rushey Mead Library and the Recreation Centre actually represent the heart and lungs of the Rushey Mead community. Remove 50% of that, we're going to find it very difficult to continue living. It's not going to be very long, as Councillor Wilmot says, before the other building will also disappear. On the basis of that, given the fact that there is now a focus towards things like mental health issues...
I did ask you to conclude.
I am doing so. And loneliness, given the fact that there is now supposed to be a focus both from central government and presumably down back to here, it seems to me ludicrous that you would remove the very kind of services that actually assist those very people that suffer from those issues. And
Thank you. Thank you. You both made very valuable remarks on behalf of your case, so thank you very much.
Thank you.
You can sit back.